Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby, another massive international rugby weekend. We've got Jimmy out here again. We've got Jake. We've got a bit of news to cover right before we get into the official fixtures. But Jake, how are you feeling, my man?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, casual. I'm still bouncing from the England win over New Zealand. I've been catching up on the media storm from it and enjoying the New Zealand fallout. But yeah, going good. How are you both?
Jimmy?
I'm good. Looking forward to the rugby at the weekend. Got a good result last weekend. Good result in the football too. So yeah, I'd say most people in Ireland are pretty happy this week.
Yeah, well, he's a Tottenham player. What can you expect, right? Up the
Oh,
coys.
Tottenham Academy player, AZ Alkmaar, current player.
It's nice how they've expanded that Football World Cup to let the little nations of Ireland and Scotland in. But no, moving on.
And South Africa.
Well, yeah, we also qualified. Very proud of the country. The first time that we ever qualified through the actual stages, right? And not just because we hosted the one. Anyway, let's talk a bit of shit when it comes to rugby. So if that's what your type of vibe is, please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Now, Jimmy, we spoke about this yesterday on the WhatsApp group. You had a little rant about the World Rugby Player of the Year nominations. Why are you so upset?
I just think, especially with the narrative that's been pushed recently by Springbok fans about how World Rugby is against them, with all these decisions not going their way, and then a couple of days later, they get 3 players nominated for the Player of the Year, which, in my opinion, maybe yeah, 1 or 2, fair enough, but 3 is just ridiculous in my opinion. You've pretty much guaranteed to win it. No offense to Louis Bielbiere, but realistically, it's not going to go to him. I know he's had a great year, but Malcolm Marshall starting him, yes, he's been quite good for the Springboks, but look what Dan Sheehan's done since he came back from injury in January. He came back from an ACL tear, came back, scored I think around 20 tries between January and July. You don't really see any other hookers ever do stuff like that. And the fact he hasn't even gotten nomination. Tyke Bird, not trying to sound Irish bias, but also like Mara Toji, Finn Russell, Artie Savea, not even in there, no Kiwis. It's just a bit ridiculous in my opinion.
Jake, what's your thoughts on it before I give you my thoughts?
I haven't just talked about it on WhatsApp, but I agree with Jimmy, to be honest, quite a lot. I feel like the South Africans are the best team in the world. They've been the best team this year. If there's a Team of the Year tournament, they're easily it. But they've mixed and matched so much. I don't think they've really had loads of standout players. And I think probably Marks deserves to be on there, but people saying that Oxenche is because he didn't get on last year when he shouldn't be on it this year. Peter Steph-Tutoy, I mean, he's just awesome, but is he standing out every single game, more than usual, like it was in 2019 or something? I feel like players like Ty Burn, as Jimmy said, Save maybe. From an English point of view, I think Tom Curry was our best player in Six Nations, one of the best in the Lions, gets overlooked again. So I feel like it's a bit of a joke as well.
So my point of view on it is Malcolm Marx has to be there. He's been the most consistent player by a mile. Maybe he had a slow start in his first 1 or 2 games. Just slow start, not necessarily bad, but he's been absolutely sensational. And we've been calling for him for years that he's amazing. If there was one change that I would have made, it would have been Peter Steph-Tutoy out for Maro Itoje. Just because I thought Itoje, he's had a sensational year of rugby, obviously British and Irish Lions. He had a very good Six Nations as well. I think with the leadership and everything that he's brought, he's just been masterful for England. But where the Irish guys just kind of shot themselves in the foot is you've had your worst finish in the Six Nations in years, right? So to have a nominee in there while they don't take club rugby into consideration, right? Because if they did take club rugby into consideration, I'd give this award to Louis Bielbiere with a smile. But the fact of the matter is he's not going to win it because they didn't tour to New Zealand. Well, he didn't tour to New Zealand, so he didn't play those games. And they've obviously stunk it out a bit in the end of the year, right? So that just goes against them. Oxenche, he's been the standout prop. I'm just happy that he got nominated, the first prop ever to get nominated, but I don't think he'll win it, right? Obviously, especially since he's got injured right before the end of the year to us. So he's kind of played the same amount of games as Louis Bielbiere. And I think Malcolm Marx deserves it this year. He's been the best. by a
Yeah,
mile.
like yeah, just so South African fans don't bite my head off. I do think Marks has had a great year. I just think if we're going position by position, I do think Sheehan's had a great year too. But if you could have both them in the list, yeah, sure, I probably would. But in terms of Peter Steph the toy, he's probably not been as standout as he has been in previous years for the Box. And you said that don't take club rugby into consideration. Also seen a stat a while back that he hasn't played for his Japanese club in over 500 days or something like that, which is just crazy to think of. And that's probably one of the reasons why
And
they
they
don't
probably still
take club
pay him a
rugby.
salary. Imagine
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but Louis Bealbury, in terms of international rugby, he did break the try scoring record in the Six Nations with 9 tries, I believe it was, and won the Six Nations. But yeah, towards the end of the year, he hasn't been great. Yes, he did win the Champions Cup, but sadly that doesn't count towards it. Oxenchair probably should have won it last year, which I think is fair enough to have him there this year. But yeah,
The thing is, Jimmy, right? Like Peter Steph, I thought he had a very good year still. But in terms of the standard that he's kind of set out for himself, if you don't perform to that standard where you stand out every single game, then it kind of feels like you had a bit of a lackluster year. In terms of that, I still think he's one of the best players in the world, if not the best. Just like he wasn't as good as he was in 2024, but that doesn't mean he's bad. The thing, as I just mentioned with Dan Sheehan and even Ty Burn, I thought both of them had a phenomenal year. But if they're focusing on international rugby and your international team placed third in the Six Nations, that obviously takes back from that. You understand
But
what I
yeah,
mean?
I get where you're coming from, but the thing is, so we also won a triple crown in that Six Nations. Both them were key parts of the Lions winning that tour in Australia. Ty Byrne, I believe, got player of the tournament, didn't he? Um, Dan Sheehan was an instrumental part of it, scoring multiple tries. But yeah, two very big assets to the Lions in a win down in Australia didn't even get a mention, which is just a bit odd to me. And then not just to sound Irish bias, of course, as Jake said, Tom Curry and then Maro Toji, as you said, casual, also with great years. But yeah, it was just a strange list to me, in my opinion.
it's player of the year. It's not team
Yeah,
of the
not South
year.
African Player of the Year.
Like 2024 Six Nations, Menoncello got player of the tournament, and Italy came fourth. Like it shouldn't matter. Like you're not going to out Pablo Matera or Santi Pereira have been fantastic this year because Argentina came fourth in the Rugby Championship. Like it shouldn't matter if South Africa are the best team. It should be the best players, and I don't think a couple of them deserve that.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Jake, like you have to put it into perspective. Like for Italy to have placed fourth, that was a historic thing for them in a good way. For Ireland to place third this year was kind of a historical bad thing for them because they
But you
don't
talk about
place
the
third.
team again. It doesn't matter what
Historically,
they.
that would have
Okay,
been an
it's
amazing year for him.
obviously they're going to take what the team accomplished in it. You don't want to give the best player in the world, right? Can't be from an underperforming team in that year, right? Like that just sounds stupid.
Well,
Doesn't that
I
make sense?
disagree. I disagree. Like, it shouldn't be done on like what teams are performing well. It should be like on individual performances. If you're like one of the best players, like Jack Morgan, you could say should be up there in like the top sort of 15, 20 players in the year, and he's been in a terrible team. But even if we take that out, England have won 10 games out of 11 this year, and there's not a single English player in there. And Maro Toji's won a Lions series for the first time in 12 years for the Lions.
Yeah, but that's
Not
we
Yeah,
obviously
like Brian
agreed that he has
O'Driscoll
to
was
be there.
considered one of the best in the world when he was playing in a very mediocre Ireland team back in the 2000s.
Listen, don't get me wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you guys that those guys didn't have good years. Like, if it was purely based on just the best player, then I agree that they could have been nominated. I'm just saying the perspective that they're probably taking on it is that the one team didn't have a good year, so they're not going to give that award to that team, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
picking the guys. If I had to pick guys, I would have had a different selection. Like, I thought it's a bit crazy to say 3 South Africans and 1 French player there. While I thought England had an outstanding year. I'm very surprised that RG Savay isn't there because he's always one of the best. But like it's just what it is. Anyway, breakthrough player of the year. Is this a foregone conclusion that it will be Henry Pollock, Jake?
No, I think it should be, but I don't think it will be because he hasn't probably started enough tests. I think club achievements should come into it, and just his general performances. Like, it doesn't matter he's not started them, but what he's done when he has played has been like crazy. They take like the other like the club franchise Lions games into account because he was always good then as well. But he's 20 years old. He's got a British and Irish Lions tour. It's crazy. But they'll probably go to Fabian Holland because he started most games, but he's only got in because of injury. So it's Pollock's, got into the bench on merit more. But that's just my opinion.
Well, we're kind of in this rugby phase where everyone says it. Whether you're starting or playing from the bench, you have an equal as important role. If you look at the way that England lines up at the moment, it's a very important role that he plays from the bench. If you look at a guy that's gone from, what was it, under 19s or under 20s?
Yeah.
He was playing under 20s at the start of the year.
Yeah, to going into the Six
rugby.
Nations, then playing Six Nations. Well, obviously Champions Cup, that doesn't count. But then going from there into international rugby, playing in the Six Nations in the biggest games, playing in the British and Irish Lions games. If that's not breakthrough player of the year, then I don't know. Because I hear what people say in the comment section. Yeah, he just came off the bench. Well, then let's never say again that it's equally as important. Then never prop up the bomb squad, for instance, again. Because the roles are just as important. The guys that finish the game are arguably more important than the guys that start the game. There's one thing that I always say. It's Kwagga Smith is the first name on the team sheet, but he goes straight to the bench. Right? And that's kind of the situation with the bench players. Henry Pollard, for me, takes it comfortably.
Well, fair enough. I don't know how Suaalii gets on as well, because he debuted last year, so I don't understand that either, but whatever.
No, but he only debuted end of the year to us. He's only been playing 1 year.
What is the window then? What is this window? Is it all of this year?
Who was the fourth player?
Like, it just makes no sense.
Ethan
The whole World Rugby Awards is a joke. It's an absolute joke. They favour Southern Hemisphere team because you play later. They don't take in all the autumn. They've still got a whole round to go. Like, it's a joke thing. Do it a month later. It's stupid.
Nice. Anyway, let's get into the games. Jake had a little sneaky desk whack there as well. he just imploded from out of nowhere. Like, that's crazy.
Who chooses these things? You've got Victor Matfield is on the choosing committee. He's just gone, I'm going to choose all my Springbok mates. Like,
Okay, that's enough. Now, let's actually move on to the games because we've got a couple of bangers and we'll obviously focus on two of the big ones. Jimmy, South Africa versus Ireland in Dublin. We haven't beat you in Dublin in how many years?
2012 was the last time.
13 years, 12 to 13 years. Crazy stat to think about. How high would you rate South Africa as your rivals?
Apart from England, they're our biggest rivals, I think. Between the fan bases, I think it's probably the worst relationship at the minute in rugby. I think in terms of fans, fan interactions, really. I don't think in general online they have the best relationship.
And how
historically,
beautiful is that? How gorgeous
it's something that's rare in rugby as well that we don't really see. It's almost like a football-esque rivalry in a way. With the way it is now. But no, historically it would be England our biggest rivals. But at the minute, a game that I'd probably put the most emphasis on is probably South Africa.
Jake, how would you sum up the South Africa versus Ireland rivalry? Good for the sport, or do you reckon that the sport needs respectful rivalries? And remember, you're English guys, so yeah.
No, of course it's great for the sport. It's just I always enjoy watching from the sideline that two teams having a go at each other, and that's not having a go at England for once. And it just feels more real. It feels more real than the South Africa-New Zealand rivalry. Because on the pitch, sure, there's all the history, but off the pitch, New Zealand fans, they're quiet. They are quiet, and it's fun when you see Irish and South African fans having a go. Like the two international teams have been having like clashing recently in the last 3-4 years quite a lot. The URC also drives it a lot, where the teams dominate in those two countries. So yeah, it's great. I'm loving it.
You can't say they've been dominating. Their best team sitting in like 12th.
Oh well, as far as I know, we're the current champions and absolutely smacked the Bulls around in the final.
I know. I'm taking the piss. This rivalry is absolutely great from my perspective. I love the Irish fans. I love the fact that you need fans that are passionate about it. Right, like and the Irish fans, they scream passion. If you listen over the TV to the Viva, I don't know if the speakers boosted a bit or whatever, but it sounds great, right? I'm just saying it sounds great. I know Tiernan has said this before that the Viva doesn't always sound great. That's why I made that comment, right? But from what I can see online and how passionate the people are in the comment sections, people talk about South Africans that jump on you quickly in the comment section. As soon as I said something about Ireland, I get the entire Irish nation in my comment section. And I love it, right? Because rugby needs stuff like that. It's beautiful for the game. Now let's actually talk about the game. Jimmy, how much confidence are you guys taking from that performance against Australia? Because credit where it's due, that was a clinical performance. That was a very, very strong performance.
If you asked me, let's say 2 weeks ago after the Japan game, how confident I was to face South Africa, you'd probably get a totally different answer from me. But at the minute, I'm much less nervous. I think that performance against Australia really settled my nerves. Um, it was a very clinical showing from Ireland, especially when when against Japan, we probably left about a good few points out there. But against Australia, pretty much every chance we went for, every time we went forward, we looked like we were going to score. And the scoreline reflects that. But yeah, I'm much more confident than I was last week. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the game more than I am nervous now.
Are you hoping that South Africa doesn't go down to 14 men?
Um, well, yeah, well, you probably play better with 15 than well, not with better with 15, play better with 14 because you probably have that chip on your shoulder that everyone's against you. So I don't want South Africa with the chip on their shoulder. So yeah, I think it's best if we don't get high tackled. That's all I'll say.
Well, Jake, I don't know if you saw it, but Franco Moster's red card got rescinded, and it's just a yellow card now. As we spoke about, it came out this morning, so that's glorious. What's your thoughts on this game? Who do you think is the more confident team going into this one? If you look at the history, the Boks haven't won in 13 years, but probably going into the game with a bit of the momentum. But then you look at the Irish performance of last week. Who do you feel should be favourites on paper?
Yeah, South Africa still. Like, I know the record heavily favours Ireland and like the last 5 games between them, but still South Africa have the momentum of the year. When was the last time they actually played in Dublin before? Like
2022.
They did play in 2022. Okay.
That was a
thought that was
1-point game for you guys, right?
It was 3 points. I was at it.
Yeah.
You scored a try with 2 minutes to go to make it look closer.
Sorry.
Sorry, just saying how it is.
Yeah. No, I think the South Africans will still be the favourites, but yeah, I thought, I don't know, Ireland were definitely much better last week. Like, you see, they're sort of clicking again, but the Wallabies' defence was so poor for some of those tries. So yeah, I still think the South Africans will probably have enough to win. But it'll be a great game. It'll be close.
Who will be in that number 10 jersey to face up against Sasha Feinberg and Gomazulu?
Me asking. You're asking me.
Whoever, yeah. You go.
Crowley. Prendergast was good last week. I actually even saw Munster fans giving him some form of praise. They weren't everything that came out of Munster fans' mouths at the weekend wasn't all criticism, which is a very positive thing for Sam Prendergast. Yeah, he had a great game against Australia, but I do think Crowley is a more steady head to have going against one of the top nations like South Africa, and I think it'll be Crowley who'll start.
It's probably the right decision on form. He's
Yeah.
so good at the moment. He needs the backing as well.
It better be Crowley, because if you see Sam Prendergast starting, you're South Africa, you're sending essays and Dielende, Peter Steph down that channel, Visa, every single day. They're going to get over the game line.
No, they'll just be facing Robbie Henshaw and Bundyaki, though. That's the thing.
No. If he's on the sort of flank in the backfield, like, he missed a terrible tackle. I can't remember who it was on, but he should have tackled him against Australia on the wing, and a bit like that Pollock one in the Champions Cup. If it's a one-on-one against Colby Aarons or whoever, anyone, it could be Oxenche on the wing. He's injured. You get what I mean? They're scoring. So
He'll just slide in and top tackle him.
Well, you're thinking about defense, right? Like, he's going to get the ball. You're going to play your flat line, and he's going to get flat lined. You saw what happened
No,
to
he's going
Jordan
to
Barrett and
spiral
Richie
it
Moore.
down the field, and you're going to fumble it.
I can
That's what
see
he's going to do.
us playing with the same tactic as we did in the World Cup final, where Richie Moang or Geordie Barrett just got the ball, and we just said, listen, run straight into them. And if they do that to Prendergast, that might be a very, very long evening. because
Could you
those
imagine-
guys are way bigger.
But he won't start. Though, that's the thing. Like, I don't think Farrell thinks he's ready for a game like that yet. And I don't think the fans do either.
So he'll come off the bench and face RG Snyman and Quagga Smith. And
Archie won't do it. No to him. Like I'd say Sam's put a fair few hits on Archie in training. Like when people say Sam Prendergast can't tackle, he went up against the Bulls and he was like, "I'm gonna go and tackle a front rower," and that's what he does. No, I'm joking. But no, Sam Prendergast come on last 10, 15 minutes or so. Maybe kick a couple spirals or whatever. Yeah.
Jake, just the final thing on this game. Obviously, we saw. I think it's Stuart McCloskey who's out injured and stuff. But they got some good news back with Gary Ringrose coming back as well. Some of those guys. And yeah, how big of a relief is that for the Irish team with that one?
Yeah.
Or do you think that those guys, they haven't had too much game time, they might not be needed for this game? Or do you think they come straight in?
It's definitely big that if you're going to lose McCloskey, you definitely have to have one of those others come back. So have you got Aki as well? That all three of them fit.
Yeah,
that's good. Because you need that depth, and that they are the top quality centres in Ireland. And then Van der Fleer is also going to be a massive boost as well. Although I was quite interested to see Doris at 7 alongside Conan as well and Baird. So that worked quite well. Maybe Van der Fleer's sort of impact play on the bench. But yeah, definitely good. Guys to come back in for Ireland, they're difference makers.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, from a South African perspective, must win. This is a must-win game, right? I'll give it the little bit of shit talking beforehand and stuff. If we win, I'll continue it. If we don't, I'm getting off of the internet for a little while, just taking a little sabbatical, a little.
Would you say this is South
I have a feeling there won't be a podcast next week. Is that just me?
Sorry?
Is it just me who thinks there might not be a podcast next week?
No, Jack can host. He can do it.
It's just been me.
I'll host. I might be very happy next weekend. Not.
Jimmy, no. If you guys lose, I'm coming for you.
All right. If we lose, I'll make a deal.
You talk way too much shit in that World Rugby Player of the thing.
I was angry. All right. I just got home from college and I was angry
because
and tired.
People, you saw what Jimmy said now, right? But go and watch his TikTok. It got said with a lot of attitude. It was crazy. I was watching that thing. I was like, this guy.
It was much more passionate. I'll tell you that.
I feel like I'm trapped between a South African and Irish comment section right now, just sort of in person. But Casual, would you say this is like your main? This is South Africa's main bogey team is Ireland.
Yes. And I would have said before the tour that the French were our biggest game, but seeing how that kind of played out and how scruffy they looked with the way that Ireland played last week, I'll say that this would be our most important game. Like, in the end, I only really cared about that France game, winning that one, because I thought Ireland didn't look good. But now that I saw Ireland look very good last weekend, I need to win this one. This is a very important game now for me as well. So it was important always, but I didn't want to have the excuse of Ireland's not looking good. But them performing the way that they did last weekend, I need this one. This is massive. So yeah, they are our bogey team. You can't say that they're not, right? Like they've got the upper hand over us over the last few years. I'm not going to sit here and be ridiculous or anything. You just heard the stat: 12 to 13 years without a victory in Ireland. We obviously beat them last year once, but then they pulled one back. And a draw means fuck all in a series. Who cares about a bloody draw? That series didn't happen. It didn't take place. It actually infuriates me, the fact that they got a win. Because it's like, okay, they played once and they fixed up and they got the second victory. And I hate that. So, yeah, need to win this one. Obviously, backing the boys to win it. Jimmy's obviously backing his guys to win it. So, Jake, you come down to the decider. Who are you backing?
Well, I'll back Ireland because it's just funny seeing South Africa lose. But
good man, Jake.
And it's nothing to do with the ridiculous North-South hemisphere. All you Southern Hemisphere people seem to put. I just want to see a bit of an explosion online from some Springbok fans right now. You've had too many wins in a row, and I'm not comfortable. But
you want to call Ireland your biggest rivals, and then you want them to win. That's
I don't
embarrassing.
know. No, I've never said once Ireland are our
That's
biggest rivals.
that's embarrassing. You wanted to see us break down and see Ireland win. That's
No,
embarrassing, Jay.
France are our biggest rivals, and Ireland and South Africa are about level actually. So anyway,
But the team that put 50-0 on you. That doesn't seem like a rivalry.
but I think that's the team we actually won the last time we played them. But anyway, moving on.
Talking about England, let's actually move on to England because I think this will be the better game to watch because Argentina is always a fun team to watch. England are playing a nice brand of rugby as well. Are we seeing a high-scoring game here, Jake? England versus Argentina?
Maybe I don't know if it's really like in the 40s, but maybe it's sort of like high 20s, sort of around that 30 mark. Should be exciting though. A few changes for England. We've got the luxury of them announcing their squad a day earlier than everyone else, so we know the England lined up. The return of the legend Elliot Daly at the wing, which is interesting. Sadly, I do not have my Elliot Daly T-shirt on right now, but it's getting washed. But yeah, I mean, it's good for. It's interesting to see how England go against Argentina.
Well, if you look at the lineup that you guys picked, are you thinking we're going with the high ball tactic? Freddie Stewart, Elliot Daly. Seems like it.
Well, I mean, why would we not go high ball tactic? We could play South Africa and we're still going to go high ball tactic. It's our best strength.
Well, if you look at the way that Argentina played against us at Twickenham, they were extremely good under the high ball. Why not just run right?
They are one of the better teams, that's for sure. Like Isgro's pretty good. I don't know who else I have on the other wing, but they're good as well. They're definitely one of the stronger teams at managing it. But we're confident, and it's not just about winning the ball. It's just about creating chaos, even if you don't win the ball, and putting them teams under pressure. So we won't change from our tactics. It'll be a difficult game. Argentina are good in patches, but yeah, it'll be interesting.
Jimmy, looking at the way that Argentina have played this year, they're clearly not the same team as we saw a few years back, right? Like maybe they've got their on-off games and stuff, but they look more consistent. They look more scary when they get the ball in hand. Now, England are notorious for being kind of the bogey team for Argentina. Like England's the better team overall, but Argentina are notorious for struggling heavy against England. Now, do you reckon that this will be the same story this weekend, or do you think Argentina might have turned the page and could get one over England this time around?
Argentina, they're still inconsistent in a way. I think it's almost like their second half team this autumn, from what we've seen in both Wales and Scotland. Um, England's B team during the Lions went down and beat them 2-0 in a series,
Yeah.
for fairly easily in one of those tests. Which was quite surprising to me, considering how Argentina have been going. But it's either going to be it's going to be a high scoring game, I think, no matter what. Either that is an England blowout or a very tight game. I just can't really decide which. With the way Argentina are going, it's just so hard for me to figure out what they're going to do one the next, really.
Well, Jake, if you have to think about it objectively and not from your biased point of view, do you reckon that Argentina does have a chance in this one? Or do you just kind of say, well, we are just that team for Argentina where they struggle, and you take the confidence that you got from when you traveled there into this, albeit they also had a pretty much second string team?
Yeah. I don't know. I think they've definitely got a chance, but I think it's still a smaller chance because I think just the way we plays quite well against them. We're going to set piece it. We're going to high ball kick it. Like if we could stop them getting over the game line, which we should be able to because our England forward packs are good. You want to kick it away, we'll take that all day long, you know. And so as long as we stop their running game, we'll take the power and up front, and we'll probably smother them like that. George Ford's starting at 10, so that'd be 4 drop goals, and we'll win it like that.
Fair enough. He's been playing beautiful rugby, right? So that's probably where you get the upper hand in the forward pack and stuff. The physical dominance that you could get over them, just right there, might win you the game. That's kind of how South Africa used to always win the games, right? Yeah. So we all kind of, I'm guessing we're all backing England to get the victory on this one. But, well, the thing is, the reason that I'm also backing England is you look at what Scotland did to Argentina in that first half. Obviously, Argentina woke up in the second, But I just can't see that England lets you back in the game like that. If they make the mistakes and they fall off tackles like they did against Scotland and they give them a lead of, let's say, even 14 points, the England defensive work has kind of just gone so under the radar. I've been very impressed with their quick line, defensive line. So I just can't see where Argentina really get the gaps there unless they pick up the loose ball and make something from that. But I'm pretty sure that England's been working hard in terms of nullifying that part of their attack. Is that a fair statement?
And what Scotland don't have is the POM squad. So if they can come on and make a difference against Argentina, should be able to handle them if they had like a late flurry in the game, you know.
The POM squad. You see, that's a worse steal than we've done with Rassi and Zombie. That is a terrible.
I don't think you can compare that.
Didn't they not put that in the chat as soon as it came on against Australia?
Jimmy, you were one of the first people to ever say it to me. So Jimmy knows rugby as started this. Yeah. I mean, you took the bomb squad from Eddie Jones's English finishers. So don't try and say you started this.
No, but the one is just we use a different name for it, right? Like, but you've just kind of plagiarized our name
and done better. It's better. The POM squad.
And you're also insulting yourself at the same time. To be fair, like.
I'm sorry, we always get abuse from other people across the world. We don't care. We're not.
You're just doing it to yourself now.
Sure.
Remember, the POM squad is considerably weaker than the bomb squad.
Oh,
the POM squad is laughable.
No, POM squad is also Henry Pollock on the bench is just World Player of the Year.
Calm down.
Breakthrough Player of the Year. Get that right.
He's in the wrong category. Anyway, should we move on to another one?
Yeah. Okay. Final game of the weekend that we want to chat about: New Zealand versus Wales.
All right.
Will Wales, for the first time in 3 years, get more than one victory in a row?
No.
Will they get a point? That's my question.
Yes.
Bro, at this point, Wales need to take every 60-meter kick that they possibly can just to get those 3 points. Like, just don't get nulled.
Yeah. I think, again, like penalties, maximum one try, but this could be a hammering. I really do. I know New Zealand weren't the best last week, and there's lots of talk about what's their style of play under Razor, but the quality they have is just, I don't think there's a single Welsh player gets in the All Black squad outside maybe Thomas Williams on the bench and Jack Morgan.
By the way, I was being stupid. This is not the last game that we're going to talk about. There's France versus Australia as well, by the way.
I was going to say.
Apologies. Yes, listen, New Zealand, they don't lose twice in a row. This might be bad for Wales. This might be a thumping, like 45-3 or something like this.
Yeah,
because they'll be hurt. And the one thing that the New Zealand will do is they'll take the credit after the criticism from their pundits and their media and stuff and say, listen, okay, well, let's just go and prove a point, play some running rugby, run the Welsh from one side of the field to another. Leicester Fainga'anuku hat-trick, might get Billy Proctor on the score sheet finally again, and then put up a massive beating on Wales. That's just kind of how I see it going. Where Wales can take some confidence is if they can front up physically, but other than that, this might be a long one.
I can't see them doing that, and their scrum is so far behind the New Zealand scrum, which, in my opinion, I can't see them getting more than 10 points here.
You know what the scary thing is, right? And I'm not even trying to knock Wales. This is just the best thing that could have possibly happened for New Zealand is if they had the fly-off injuries like they do at the moment, and they play Ruben Love, who wants to prove a point. That guy is sensational, and he might have one of those performances where he says, okay, I'm taking that 10 jersey after this weekend.
Maybe.
That guy is world class. As soon as he gets a run of games, I'm telling you, he'll start for them every week.
What do you think, Jimmy?
How old is he? How old is he?
I don't know.
No, he's young.
How would you
young,
what do you think about the game in general? Sorry.
Oh, the game in general. Well, I think New Zealand will be out with the point to prove. They'll not be happy after last week's performance. Uh, Wales, they could be in for a big harm here. Realistically, they are. Yeah, I can't really see it going any better than that. I think the only way it could have been a bit better for Wales is if the All Blacks actually beat England. Maybe it wouldn't have been as bad of a beating for them, maybe. But I think it's going to be by about 50 points, to be honest.
So, what would Wales be happy with? If Wales lost this game by 15 points or 10 points, should we sit here next week and say, well, we didn't expect that and credit to
If they
Wales?
keep it, if they keep it within, like, let's say, a score at halftime, something like that.
If you within 20, it's good. It's a good performance.
But imagine if they win the game. There's so many clips that they can grab from here.
If they win the game, Scott Robertson gets fired immediately.
On the spot. This is a team that hasn't won more than one game in like 3 years, and both of those games that they've won has been Japan.
They haven't beaten a team since the World Cup other than Japan.
Exactly. And one time was Japan by 1 point.
Yeah.
Like a kick in at a time. This is the same team, the Japan team that played well and got hammered by Ireland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's move on. France versus Australia. Both teams are not really firing, which tells you that this might be a banger of a match.
Yeah. No, it should be exciting, shouldn't it? But I feel like the French are still, they're not that far off as people say. Like they were holding the Springboks for 60 minutes, and they were ahead after 60 minutes. So I feel like people are over panicking a bit from France. But it's just Gautier making some weird decisions. Like Olivon was like their best player v Fiji from what I saw. I've not watched the whole game properly, but why was he not starting against the Springboks? And then obviously players like Aldrit being left out and Deporter is great on the bench. I think Barassi can get caught defensively. So it's interesting, but I think France, they have too much for Australia. Like, they should win this, I think, fairly comfortably. Australia look terrible right now, like tired, physically beaten up. Like they've had a long year. And people say it's don't bring in fatigue, but they look fatigued.
They do. You can see the injuries have really got to them. The guys' legs are running out. It's been a long season because remember, they play a lot of rugby right before the international season with the Super Rugby as well. And that's non-stop. There's no real breaks or buys or anything like that. One team has a bye here and there. So it's a lot of rugby.
Semi-finals, don't they? In the finals, they get a bit of break there because they're never in them. But other than that.
Yeah, but they're at the Brumbies, right? And obviously most of their team comes from the Brumbies.
Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted
you. Yeah, no, but I just kind of wanted to agree on your point in terms of that. Like, but the thing is, I'm trying to think, right? With playing styles, the way that Ireland plays, it's consistent attack. Where the French play the high ball game, which might drag the Wallabies into the game a bit more because the ball could bounce to them. The game could be open for them to hit a great counter attack or something like that. Where the Wallabies play a bit more of this nitty gritty game, playing their lines quick, one ruck after another. Where France, they enjoy the kicking game. Don't you think that kind of plays a bit into the hands of the Wallabies, Jack?
No. I saw this stat versus Ireland. It was like 13 or 14 out of 14 kicks from Ireland from hand were regathered by Ireland. Like Australia.
Mark Hansen. That's why.
Yeah, he Aussie.
Yeah. Well, that counts, to be fair. So maybe not all Australians are that bad under the high ball at the minute.
Australia struggled under the high ball with England. I mean, it seems like a new tactic where you kick to your best high ball. But they kicked to Freddie Stewart, we kicked to Suoliti. But I think France are great at their kicking strategy. So I can't see what area of the field Australia get they're better than France in right now.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Jimmy, how do you think this one plays out?
Well, I believe it's Joe Schmidt's last game as head coach for the Wallabies. After a great all performance against Ireland, a very bad performance, especially under the high ball, as you were talking about. if they play a high ball game, I'd say Joe Schmidt will be grilling them in training this week, especially about the mistakes they made under the high ball and how badly they were beaten under it. But if they can front up in that perspective, they could make it close. I do expect a high scoring game, whether that's a French blowout or I'd say the Wallabies will make it close because Joe Schmidt's last ever game as head coach, he will want to get them motivated and he will want to go out in the high. I will say France will win this one, though. I'll go for France by about 5 points.
Well, Jake, we saw the French team with obviously they woke up in the second half, but Fiji pulled them very close and it was a very competitive game for a while. Wouldn't that tell you that France are still a bit cold, that they haven't really fired? And because this is Joe Schmidt's final game, a last chance for just a final run out for the Wallabies team, that they could go for upset here.
Yeah, they could. I mean, like Fiji were very good, and Australia probably about the same level as Fiji, if not better. But what Fiji managed, I think, the edge Fiji have is that they have a lot of players who play against French players in the club season, and they kind of know the style of play a bit more. They're massive. That helps, I think they've just got much more size than the Australians. I don't know. I just think that Fijian style of play causes more issues for the French than the Australians will be able to do. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps it up, people. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate you guys. Go show these guys some love on their social medias, YouTube, TikTok, all those lovely things. And then we'll see you next week for the final wrap-up. And then we've just got to build up for South Africa and Wales as the final one. Anyway, thank you. Ciao.